We are back for the final matchup of the day. It's going to be West Garfield Park taking on Elyssar. These are the fifth and fourth place teams coming into the day. And I'll tell you, either of these two teams would love to secure that fourth place spot, as we know every spot means something as we, progress along the year. Cookies, with your mean mug, let's talk about West Garfield Park.
Hey, let's talk about them. Hailing from Chicago, Illinois, we have the team's based on our neighborhood in Chicago. Bio is from Chicago. He's leading this team into victory. They have come a long way from the start of this stage. It was literally the snake show. It has now become less of the snake show. Everybody's contributing. Twist, barring, is playing his best siege. You thought he was playing his best siege under Gotcha? No, it's under Bio. And you know what? Today's gonna be pretty funny because they got Elyssar. I think they can take Elyssar. I think they are built. This is their peak right now. I know they just lost on Bank last week. That's okay because they're never playing Bank again, right?
Hopefully, they've been heating up. You're gonna have hiccups. Elyssar, Connor, they're not. They've had their fair share of hiccups, but this is their opportunity to put a stamp and say, look, that was just a little bit of an issue, but we're a good team.
Yeah, Elyssar started off really strong and had a really rough week 2 where they played some top teams back to back to back and kind of struggled to find form ever since. Kento still doing well for himself, but hasn't been dropping those 20 kill games like we know to expect out of him. Same thing for young Alec, him adjusting to the tempo in CL as opposed to the NAL. Has really struggled, and we haven't seen the same level of young Alec running around with a Rooney red dot, Roni destroying everybody in his path. We haven't seen that yet, but we also have seen a good old Giddy, a good reliable Giddy that's just always going to be playing well, does what he needs to for the team, whether he's on the castle, whether he's on the sledge, he's playing the utility properly, making sure lines of sight are cut or opened, depending on what attacking and defensive side, as well as getting involved in the entry game just a little bit.
Mm-hmm. They do say, that is a Giddy that just won't quitty. So that's what we say about him around here.
They don't say that.
No, they don't.
They don't. I think they've ever said that.
I say that. Okay, I say that.
Okay, but you know what?
Okay, just do your points. Just do your points.
Though,
okay, I don't want to hear it.
You know what, Brim? You know what, Brim? You know what they do say about West Garfield Park?
West Garfield Park?
Garfield Park. You know what they say?
Okay. What?
They do say that they're never going to play Bank again. That wasn't a joke.
Okay.
I've heard that from the word of the mouth, from the mouth of the snake.
Mm-hmm.
Not snake literally, but I heard it. They're going to keep it simple today, right? I fully expect them to stop trying to be cute, go to like simple stuff. Because that's kind of the same story with Elyssar. They didn't really have a good time on the complicated maps either, but neither did West Garfield. So I think they should just keep it simple, shut down the drones, don't die to young Alec and Kento, and watch Elyssar flop over themselves.
Kill Kento, win game. Seems to be kind of a formula a lot of teams have used against Elyssar.
Simple.
Just kill Kento, and you're all good. And like we were saying, or CJ saying that West Garfield Park should shoot the drones. They need to, for the side of Elyssar, expect that disruption. Expect people like Barring to just be prone in a corner, getting up in your face after they shoot a couple of drones. Maybe they're not going to fall off like you might expect.
Right. And, I really don't understand why it has turned into the Kento show. It's actually inexplicable in many ways, CDAPs. This is going to be a hot take.
Mm-hmm.
This Elyssar team almost doesn't feel like it's as good as the stage 3 team for some reason, even though they have
better talent on paper.
They upgraded. Where's the passion? Where's the explosiveness from a roster? They should be the ones at first right now. I don't know what the hell they're doing.
Maybe they're just saving it stage by stage. Maybe their goal is to just keep wowing us. But Cookies, let's talk about those maps, those simple maps versus those complicated maps.
That's part of been the kind of. Can I speak English? Well, I got a speech impediment right now. Part of the reason
it's a long day. It's a long day. We don't blame you.
Elyssar is just kind of stunk. You see, they've banned out Border. They tried to play a new map and they just weren't having it. They've been banning the other new maps like permanently. So I expect those to go in the next couple of picks, shuffles, whatever you want. There it is, skyscraper. West Garfield, like I told you, they're not playing bank again. They admitted it. They stunk at it. Cafe, meh. Theme park, Let's not play maps like that. Those are Elyssar maps. Those are, I'm gonna sit in a corner and play my shield and discipline and all that. That's pretty much all the maps that West Garfield banned. And the funny thing is, because West Garfield kind of struggled, I bet you at rolling the dice, shaking the cup on the newer maps, they decided it would be better to band themselves to Oregon, to try something like a bank, try something like border, just go to Oregon and let Barring crouch walk in the. I know, Brim. We just watched, but the truth of the matter is, I've been clamoring for
We're finishing off. We're finishing off like we started, which was just Oregon all over the place.
We were clamoring for the new match from some of these teams, and they just couldn't hack it. So that's why we're playing Oregon. They can't handle it.
Okay, my question was, sorry, I'm blanking here. Who was the final one to ban Chalet? Who was that team?
West Garfield.
Yeah.
It was West Garfield? Change my vote. I'm sick of them.
Oh.
No, I'm not having it. They teased us with a good time on Chalet. I'm going with Elyssar. I don't want this anymore. Okay. I want the team that did not opt to go to Oregon, okay? There
really
we
good.
go.
You could do that in your prediction, though, at this point, Brim? Really?
Hey, I got to separate myself from the pack, right?
See, I'm going to make a actually inferred decision on my prediction because pound for pound, bar for bar, fragger for fragger, you got to give the edge to West Garfield Park, especially when these rounds are going to be decided early on. You got young Kento. And Alico. Young Alec and Kento. Young Alec has been really absent as opposed to on the side of West Garfield Park. You've got a Snake that's ever present, as well as either Barring, Twist, or Valor who can pick it up whenever necessary. I think that just going to a map like Oregon, which a lot of times can just boil down to who's shooting better, you got to go West Garfield.
Well, I cannot wait to see Oregon again, and that's exactly where we're going to go. It's the final matchup of the day, final matchup of the stage, West Garfield Park taking on Elyssar.
Because of course, Jonah, of course, the final game of the stage for fourth place is on Oregon.
I mean, it has to be.
It has to.
It's just the way it is.
If it wasn't, it wouldn't be Challenger League. In fact, I'm so upset about Oregon, I didn't even take map stats. But you know what I do know about Oregon, Jonah?
What?
Kento is on Oregon. And we all know that Kento Oregon hits oh so different. And that's what I'm going to be looking out for in this game. Is Kento going to be the monster we know he can be, or is Snake going to take over the game?
Yeah, a question that we will be able to answer right now. As we dive into our operator bans, we dive into Oregon. We can see what kind of map that we have in store for us. We've seen Oregon twice tonight. Both times they've been Oregon-like in the way they've played out. We've had the same bans. We've had the same structure. Maybe these two teams will want to innovate. As Connor was saying on the analyst test, CJ mentioned this as well. Both of these teams, especially West Garfield, some of them are going to rat on you. They're going to play in corners. They're going to do some unexpected things. And that is what, as spectators here, we can hope for. One extra possible, dice roll is that we've got the Ying left on the board, the Flores band instead, which could mean that if these two teams want to go for some sort of aggression, they want to bring out that rush, it is within their power to do so with those Candelas at the helm.
That is true. We do know that every time Elyssar have played this map, Giddy brings out that Ying. It's typically Giddy. Sometimes other people play it, but it's normally Giddy. Will bring out the Ying and do that E-Box drop. I don't know if anyone from West Garfield will. Looking at the roster, I feel like maybe it would be Barring playing Ying. I'm not quite sure, but the Ying bringing up will prompt a Warden from the defense. Giddy just making sure, Kento as well on Ella is a bit of an interesting pick. We saw Eddie bring her, I think, a couple times in the last game on Laundry. And I mean, hey, she brings a shield. There's a lot of bottlenecks in Laundry, so those Jmot mines can find a lot of use. Close quarters with the Scorpion, and you can kind of melt people, actually. And Jonah,
Yes, Harrison.
if Carter is correct, Oculix beat Aerial Arise.
That's a big deal.
That means our champion is Wichita Wolves. Congratulations! Woo! Hopefully the Wichita Wolves boys are listening, because I know a lot of their tweets were like, hey, we take second, maybe first. If you're listening, you do take first. Congratulations. They have come a long way from like second to last in their group in stage 3 to winning stage 1 of this year. Incredible.
Yep. It's been a wild ride, right? From Two-Face to ATK, now under the banner of the Wichita Wolves, and they're looking good. It did take them a million rounds to win out against One Shot, and One Shot almost won that about 4 times. But they won it, and that's what matters. It puts you over the top, it gets you those 2 points, and it may have put them on the top overall. But our focus shifts, of course, to the final series of the stage, final map of the stage, where West Garfield on the attack have yet to make much progress. They've kept 8 drones alive up to this point in the round, so that's a good sign for them and their prospects going forward. And as far as this defense is concerned, not too much pressure has built up just yet. There is some pressure finally amassing over in main lobby. That's Valor, over in Freezer, and over in security, right? You've got Bio and Snake taking up that position, and over on the tower side of things, you've got Barring applying some pressure from there. But the next 45 seconds, this is Oregon after all, the next 45 seconds are going to be devoted to getting these hatches open, to establishing several different approaches onto the site, and not necessarily taking those approaches yet, but at least giving yourselves those options so that when you send those drones onto the site down below, you get a read on what you're dealing with. At that point, you can make your decision on which side you actually want to push from.
Speaking of options, Elyssar don't have a whole lot when it comes to plant denial. Because Giddy's brought a shield, they're really relying on Vivid, who's not playing your standard smoke anchor role. Instead, he's in barrel, so he's likely going to be using those gas canisters early on for entry denial rather than plant denial. And that might leave Elyssar high and dry if the plant attempt from West Garfield comes in soon enough. Flashbangs go through to make sure the Hibana charges will go off on that barrel's wall. Snake will spot out an Elemine, so he won't get caught off guard when pushing in through Freezer. Interestingly enough, he's got that spear rather than the LMG. Nice to see Snake giving Elyssar a chance instead of bringing that Ying LMG. Inro and Vivid still positioned inside of tower with 30 seconds left in the round. In comes Bio, but quickly felled by Inrio. That was kind of a dead man's task. One comes in from West Garfield, but it's more for Elyssar. They leave only one man standing. Barring is in a 1 versus 4 as he could not make his way down tower. Vivid finishes him off, and Elyssar take round number 1 with only 1 death.
Yeah, a little surprising that Barring failed to get involved in that actual execute phase whatsoever. Stuck on tower stairs. He was there for pretty much 2 minutes of the round, unable to push down the stairs and actually support his team. West Garfield, they made some progress, right? And they finally decided, you know what, it is time to go for that push. But when they did, Elyssar were sitting and just lying in wait. They were very much prepared for that execute, or at least that basement push when it came through, and they denied it at every single turn. Like you said, Harrison, only losing 1 body the entire time. Barring leaving his team out to dry a little bit there, in part due to great utility usage from the smoke, right? Barring was smoked off and did not have very many options, and because he was largely alone in that position, he was unable to cover the several angles that you would need to cover if you were to walk down those stairs by yourself.
Yeah, it was definitely a little disjointed from West Garfield. They had people placed all over the place, and not one of them was able to find a whole lot of success. And hopefully that's not a common trend heading into West Garfield's later attacks, because fixing that segmentation that I just talked about is something that we highlighted and praised West Garfield for with, you know, all those role swaps and such, which they are preserving in this game. So hopefully they don't kind of fall on old habits.
Well, West Garfield this time will have to worry about more than just a site hold. There are a couple of extended roamers to worry about first. One of those is Inrio over in T2 of tower. The other is Kento, who at least a moment ago was challenging the small tower entry. He started to back off as the heat builds up. He'll work his way back to kitchen and just dart around between kitchen and security, most likely, just waiting for those players to work their way in from the small tower side and into Shower's corridor. But sensing that pressure, I do believe West Garfield will not be at least putting as much stock into that position as of now. Instead, their focus is on the east side. Barring making that armory entry, working his way up, now finishing off young Alec, who he had downed a moment ago.
Odd that Elyssar dedicated a gas canister to trying to, I guess, protect young Alec and get him back in the site to be picked up when Barring had a very clear angle on the door. A little bit odd that they used a gas canister for that. I do say it was probably a waste, and that leaves Giddy with only 2, and there is a bit of time remaining for this attack to get underway. Breach now being open from Biologic. Vivid's looking to push up, though, as Inrio actually kills the Thermite trying to get out. C4 to follow up, but there's no one on the balcony for Vivid to find. We do even out in a 4 versus 4. Minute 14 remaining. West Garfield, although they've lost their Thermite, Bio's already done his job, and they have ample time to set up for the execute.
But now it is a waiting game for Elyssar. They've gotten that kill back, and now they just need to sit and wait for exactly where West Garfield want to approach from. As Barring picks up another kill onto Giddy, and Twist collects his own. It is already over. West Garfield take 3 fights, 4 fights, and win them all back-to-back, dismantling a Dorm's defense that just didn't know where to look. Nicely played there by West Garfield. We're all tied up.
Yeah, young Alec, overexposed to Armory, gets cut down really early on. Vivid, trying to hold on and get Giddy's refrag, exposes himself to the breach, which, again, I'm going to use the word odd a lot, which was odd, considering it was Thermited open, so you got to be aware of how much coverage the attacker has into the site. And that was West Garfield just walking in and winning because Elyssar were, for the most part, looking the wrong way. I guess we'll try Dorms again for Elyssar. They'll go here for the second time in a row. This time, though, instead of Alibi, Kento has brought Oryx. So he's got a little more roamability.
Oryx on Oregon, though. Never sits well with me, given this map doesn't have a lot of flexibility in terms of rotations on hatches. There are like 2 different positions you could reliably rotate from. One of them is the hatch we just saw Kento run by, the one in Armory. The other, if you open the freezer hatch, I suppose you could jump up there if you need to. But once the attackers, get a foothold on this map, they are likely to identify that the hatches are open. If they've spotted out Kento during the prep phase, they'll know there's an Oryx to worry about, and they're likely going to be pretty tidy with the placement of, 1, those air jabs from Twist, and 2, their flank drones. We'll see, though. Kento on Oregon, as you've said, Harrison, is a dangerous prospect to go up against. You give him the T5, you give him the mobility that the Oryx provides, and yeah, it can get pretty scary for the attack. We'll have to see how West Garfield deal with this, and honestly how well they deal with Inrio as well, who instead of double reinforcing the attic side is playing slightly active. He is holding down T2 for a moment, leaving himself a rotation to rotate back through attic if he feels that's necessary.
We'll see if Inrio can make anything happen from this very extended position. Luckily for Elyssar, Alec is still alive and well. A lot of flashes coming in to clear him, and he's going to get the hell out as the nade goes in, destroys the shield, burns a little bit of HP off of him, but he is alive. And that's what matters. No early kill for Barn. Elyssar still have 5 men up. Early use of the gas canisters, though, once again, Giddy only has 1 remaining. And remember, Vivid only has 1 C4, and he was playing on site in the previous round, not rotating downstairs to get that C4 from below. Giddy, in the meantime, is cut down very low. Inrio just walks through split at the flank watch main door, and dies to Snake first. Vivid, the next to fall and make that Alec the third. So many players from Elyssar giving up their lives as now it leaves Kento alone in a 1 versus 5. Coming from the back, he'll be able to spot one. There's a freebie on Barring. He'll deny the plant as well, but can he get away? There's someone in the breach. I believe the Nomad of Twist coming through, but Kento keeps re-engaging Valor and eventually gets his head cut off. West Garfield take the lead 2-1.
Yeah, the Oryx roam. Yeah, that didn't work out at all. Ended up baiting his entire team, working his way back to the site to collect a couple of exit frags that mean nothing, and eventually getting felled. Kento could not make much happen in the 1v5 situation, but a minor mistake in the grand scheme of things. Really, it was West Garfield who moved in, took control clinically, and Elyssar who gave them the chances, it feels like, at every turn. Gotta question Giddy's use of those smokes, why he's insistent on using them so early in the round, especially when the pressure from the attack really hadn't been built up too much. Maybe the pressure was being felt on the site more than we could actually see that pressure with our own eyes. Again, that would be a good sign of a very talented attacking team. But even if Giddy kept those smokes up, what was Inrio doing? He started on a tower extension and then ended up giving his life away as he worked his way towards main lobby. Compared to that first round, in these last 2 rounds, Elyssar have been much more willing to take fights. In West Garfield, they seem to have capitalized beautifully on that. I mean, think back to that first round for a moment. Did Elyssar roam? Were they playing aggressively? No, they were waiting. Sitting back and waiting. The last 2 rounds, of course, on Dorms, it is a lot harder to sit back and wait. Elyssar have gotten picked apart at every turn either way.
Truly odd to see Elyssar just get kind of steamrolled like that when they're a team that we tout so much for their gun skill. But this is different. Giddy is Ella is playing top small. There's a middle floor defense. Just dining as well. So if you're ever going to be playing this position with ADSs and with utility dedicated to you, it is on this bomb site, it being the least played on this entire map as well. So I guess Elyssar is figuring, hey, can't really find any luck on the other primary bomb site. We might as well bring out something weird and try and trip them up.
Well, Inrio nearly got caught out in the green hall once again, but with Vivid at his back, helping to open up that barricade, Inrio will slink back to the site to join both Vivid and Young Alec in that position. As I say that, though, Young Alec will work his way back upstairs to assist Kento in a bit of a top floor hold that it appears West Garfield will be working their way into in a moment. Kento playing this aggressively, actually taking the fight and lobbing a nice C4 out right by Barring's feet. Barring steps just far enough back that he takes a lot of damage, but is not fully finished off. There is, again, a Finka in the lobby, so Barring can get healed back up in a bit, but right now the focus for West Garfield will be opening up kids and getting these players cleared out for good.
And it's just Kento on that top floor with Young Alec now just joining him, but probably fall back white soon enough. Never mind, he won't even be given the opportunity to do so. He's felled by Twist. The Nomad will start to move in. All he'll find, though, is the ghost of where Kento once was. The Mute, since defaulting back downstairs, could play with a C4, but what? Giddy decides to pick up Alec at the bottom of the staircase, despite Kento falling off and giving top floor control to the attack. What a blunder by this defense as Kento at least gets another onto Barring, but now it's him and Vivid in a 2 versus 3 when it could have been even man count had Giddy not thrown his life away. Sledge as well doing work. Valor making sure there's no safe spot to play in kitchen. Diffuser has been dropped though on the kitchen wall. That's where Bio died. All right, I guess chalk that up to poor drone work. Twist will at least recover it, but Kento will cut Snake off. Try to get Twist as well, but will be down, leaving it all up to Vivid. Valor drops right in front of him and ends up winning the fight. Twist gets 3 kills, and West Garfield take their 3rd round.
Not as clinical as their basement executes, rather their dorms executes, excuse me, but they got the job done just the same. Elyssar hoping to get creative, combining some first floor pressure with that classic vertical extension, bringing out the Tachanka, who, if you noticed at the end, didn't use a single one of his Shumikas. Didn't use the grenade, didn't use the fire grenades that he brings. Obviously, that LMG is nice for some soft destruction, and that is what he was for in this case, opening up that security wall, opening up those rotates, but not using those fire grenades is always puzzling, especially when you know or at least suspect that someone's going to drop the hatch. Why not throw a couple of explosive canisters of fire to greet them? Why not throw a couple of those fire canisters at that green door or at those security rotates? If you've got the opportunity to choke off the attackers, why don't you do it? Certainly could have saved the player who was sitting in security, could have saved their life had Vivid not been able to, rather, it was maybe Vivid who was sitting in that position, had Twist not been able to actually work his way up into kitchen from that doorway. Either way, Elyssar clearly a couple of things to work on here, because ever since their first defensive win on the basement site, it has been West Garfield Park all day long.
Disappointing play, I have to say, coming out from much of the squad of Elyssar, kind of showing a lot of the same mistakes that we've criticized them for over the course of the stage. Hopefully, you know, they're able to fix them in this game. As this, again, this game matters. Every single point that you require matters over the course of the entire year. Plus, this is the game for 4th. Leave there is a prize difference between 4th and 5th. I could be wrong, but still, even prizing aside, like I said, you know, all your points matter. We are back down on Laundry, though. The only site that Elyssar has won. So, you know, if there's any site where they should take a second round, it is here. West Garfield have swapped up their operators just a bit. Now it's Valor on Hibana, Barring picking up Ash rather than Iana, and Biologic bringing the Capitao. So while Giddy can counter his smokes, those flames are going to prove very useful for flushing out positions like the closet Giddy is sitting in, or even where Vivid and Inrio are holding.
And easily enough, choke off those rotates, prevent that fluidity on the site that Elyssar used to their advantage last time. Be exactly what West Garfield need to open this up and give them that chance that they have now discovered they really love to have, and when they've got it, well, they can make a lot of work happen with it. The last 3 rounds have come thanks to a great ability to give them those chances, to limit Elyssar's mobility and to put them into a corner. We're not going to see a roam from Elyssar, but limiting mobility on the site itself is just as important. Pillars especially. You've got Vivid and Inrio, who clearly are pretty fluid with the way they're moving around right now. They're continuing to relocate. Young Alec avoiding these nades as they continue to pour on in. Well, now here comes the first fire bolts. Choking off Closet, as you suspected, Harrison, limiting Giddy's ability to actually swing that position. And now West Garfield, well, they're moments away from going for a push here, it seems.
Elyssar's position is very congested towards the long haul side of things. There are like 3 people consistently rotating back and forth. Giddy's trying to take advantage of the attacker's own smokes, but misses his shot against Biologic. Kento has since repositioned. It's a very long angle towards Snake to play with the Scorpion in hand. Definitely a disadvantageous gunfight as Twist finds the opener. Valor tacks on another. Kento does get the kill back, but Bio answers. Young Alec gets the Bio, but Snake refrags. It's refrag upon refrag in the favor of West Garfield, and Vivid misses his shot against Valor. West Garfield once again push on through and make sure that the trades are ever in their favor.
What are the odds we see 2 attacker-sided Oregons in one night, Harrison?
Well, it's looking like
I imagine pretty low. Could happen, though. Could happen. Elyssar is a team that could definitely make it work. But right now, this is looking West Garfield-sided all day long. That is 4 rounds in a row. Talk about momentum. Talking about building up that confidence. They are sitting pretty, holding this 4-1 lead. Any round they get at this point forward would be a bonus. I mean, the 4th round is already a bonus. You walk away with 3 rounds on the Oregon attack. Generally, you're pretty happy about it. They've got to be thrilled about 4. They'd be ecstatic about 5. Elyssar heading back down to the basement in an effort to figure something out. Figure out a way to stop this West Garfield attack, but it's not looking good for them.
Nope.
Been really really unable to slow down West Garfield ever since they started heating up. And even when West Garfield appear to be taking their time, in that last round, for example, they had so much time left when it actually came for the push. There was, what, 50 seconds left when we saw them actually sending in those smokes and ready to actually go for that execute. With that kind of time, there's no amount of utility that the defense can throw at you to really stop your attack from progressing any further.
And it's laundry again for Elyssar, and I honestly can't say I blame them too much, especially with how Dorms has gone completely unsuccessful both times. I mean, you can make an argument that they should be playing Meeting, but it's whatever. Snake will suffer a lack of info. Die to Kento, barring the next to fall, but you do have to question Vivid's position in upper tower stairs. I guess trying to play in tandem with Inrio, but either way, losing your smoke very early on. Biologic. All right. Walks into a shield. Valor alone dies to Young Out. Okay. West Garfield. I mean, we gotta have a talk. You guys, 4 rounds in a row, have pushed in as a unit. Trades upon trades, looked indomitable. And then this round, Elyssar get a little bit aggressive. You have poor drone work. And then you decide to take 1v1 engagements on site against people behind shields. What happened? What is the thought process?
It looked to me like the moment they lost that first body, the moment Snake died to a frustratingly aggressive Kento.
They were like, screw it.
Yeah, they're like, you know what? Whatever, dude. It's over. Let's just send it. And, right, we saw one person send it into Barring, send it into Tower, got the kill onto Vivid, died to Inrio. We saw Bio send it into Bunker. Are you kidding me? Take the fight in Elbow and die. Yeah, that's going to happen when you do something like that. And I don't even know how Valor died, I'm going to be honest with you. It's just off the twist now, who is going to be taking a pseudo tack timeout. You may be wondering, oh, is my monitor frozen? Is my game feed frozen? No. The clock is ticking away, but it appears that Twist even took his hand off his mouse because no one can stay that still if you're actually focusing on the game. Instead, likely using this time to talk out their defensive half, talk to their team about their defensive plan. What do they know about Elyssar coming into this game? What do they know about what sites work for them compared to others? Because at this point, it's all about that defensive half for West Garfield. They'll be up 4-2 in about 20 seconds once this round concludes. And from there, they will be poised and ready to take this map. They just have to avoid pulling a Wichita Wolves and avoid allowing the defense, well, then turn to attack to make some ridiculous comeback. So, just a matter of time, I suppose, until we move on to the next round. Twist making us wait until the last possible second.
Thank you, Twist.
As the round finally concludes.
Yeah, I mean, it's an understandable decision. There's not a whole lot going for him. All he could really do is talk things out with his team. So, going into their defensive half, will this be an attacker-sided Oregon or a West Garfield Park-sided Oregon? We shall see in Elyssar's attacking half. So, I mean, main takeaways were that, again, if Elyssar let West Garfield kind of set up, then they crumble. If Elyssar get a little cheeky, a little aggressive with it, West Garfield maybe fall flat. We saw that perfectly in the previous round. Well, it'll be laundry for West Garfield here. We have seen so much freaking laundry in the past 2 maps, Jonah. The layout is going to be, ingrained in my mind. I'm going to see it in my dreams tonight. I just pick a different site, please. Hopefully West Garfield don't just play laundry and dorms like we saw one shot.
I think this is our 17th. Our 17th.
Are you serious?
I'm thinking I stopped counting at the end of the one-shot game. I'm thinking it's 18. It's either 18 or 19 total basement defenses today. And we're not even. This is our first one of this half.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. In 2 maps. It's our 13th one.
What? No way. Where am I getting 19 from?
I don't know. We only had one other Oregon today.
We had 2. What do you mean?
We had 2 or.
Yes, it's our 3rd Oregon, bro.
Huh?
They all blur together.
Wait.
Carnico Gaming
Oh,
Gladiators.
that was a game. Dude, I looked at my notes and I was like, oh, that happened last week. You're
Nope.
right. So 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. It's our 20th laundry.
Good lord. Hey, you heard it here, folks. We're counting. We're doing math.
God, bro. Actually, I need to do laundry. It's a good reminder.
Good. Glad we've got that sorted because this is ridiculous. I mean, we're going crazy, as you can hear, because we're on our 3rd Oregon of the day. We're on our 6th hour of this broadcast, and these 2 teams, they are keeping things competitive, and that's just what you'll love to see. I mean, Elyssar on the attack, they're going to be looking to kick things off by leveraging the Jackal as much as they can, by clearing out this map as quickly as they can. And it looks like they've been successful in doing so. West Garfield don't appear to be overstaying their welcome in any position. They have taken down 4 drones as they've fallen back to the site. They've done their job. 90 seconds are all that Elyssar now have to work with, and now is finally where they will be turning their attention to the site below. It'll be, hey, open this hatch, open that hatch. You've got Evox already opened up. Establishing a rotation now between meeting and tower is the next step. But it does appear that Elyssar are pretty committed to this north side. It does appear that Pillar is going to be the focus. You get that because we can see this drone already working its way in on this default plant spot, identifying the utility, spotting out that Vulcan canister in that position where it could be quite scary when they eventually push in.
Anto's on that Finca that we know he loves and can do godlike work on. He's fighting against Barring and Twist, duo holding in Pillar. Barring towards the double door itself. Twist, of course, on that barrels door. C4 looking like it might go up. And Kento will avoid it. Unfortunately, Kento not deep enough to where that C4 is going to do any damage. But Barring peeks him, and Kento will take his head off. Twist coming in for the refrag. Will get it, but it's 3 kills for Elyssar, leaving Biologic alone in elbow. Wondering what the hell happened to his team. That he won't wonder for very long.
To his team?
As his corpse hits the ground, and Elyssar will take their 3rd point.
Could it be? Harrison, could it be the beginnings of another successful attacking half?
Maybe.
Could it be the replication of our last map, of our last version of Oregon, the Wichita one-shot game? So the same example so far, same start. 4-2 split for the attacking team. Next half, the half switch comes in, and now Elyssar starts things off strong. If the pattern continues, they'll take the next 2 in a row, and West Garfield will be thrown onto the back foot here. But I don't think 1 round is enough to throw West Garfield off their rhythm. I don't think they were studying up on the previous game while we were casting it. I imagine they were warming up. They were preparing for this game. So hopefully they're not going to be channeling any of the last match problems that Wichita Wolves had. For their sake, at least, they want to keep things on their side. Unfortunately, we're going back to basement, our 21st Oregon basement of the day.
Laundry is
because
now...
Elyssar,
Laundry can now legally drink.
Congratulations, basement.
Woo.
Congratulations. It's a big milestone in your life. And, well, now West Garfield still going to the same site back to back. Not going to dorms yet.
All right. Let's see how differently this site can play out. Valor still opting for that Goyo, something that we've seen a few teams continue to don, even after his, I wouldn't even call it a nerf, after his rework. But this time, from West Garfield, we have quite a hefty roam. 2 people off-site, the Melusi already falling back, but not to site, but to white stairs. Looking to go on the top floor. Actually, there's 3. I did not see the silhouette of the Legion. But Kento finds Snake. Looked like the Melusi, yeah, was still tucked in the corner. Before we switched off Kento, it looked like he was about to look away and get caught off guard, but is able to snap back just in time to get that opening frag. Twist, still regenerating goo mines, will place them out into the hallway to cover him, give him some info for when he's being pushed. The attackers have info of their own. Barring upstairs, kills Giddy, shuts down the Jackal to make this roam clear just a bit slower.
Yeah, that's a good dent in this roam clear, and I think West Garfield, having realized that, they're going to decide it's time to play safe, dropping down the hatch, backing off to the site, now forcing Elyssar to be the ones to make their move, not giving any control for free. I mean, I say that, but Barring is still lurking around the tower stairs, hunting for a couple of drones. There's another drone as he takes it out. Now he's got to worry about Inrio, who's just going to take this gunfight. Barring in trouble, but so is Inrio, and I think Barring realizes that as the defense, it is his responsibility here to play this one a bit safer. He'll back off for good, but a good amount of time waste, good amount of utility waste, good bit of damage dealt, and a lot of drones dealt with. Very good start for West Garfield. They have lost Snake, and that's not ideal. Malusi for Jackal, though, is pretty much a 1-for-1 on it doesn't matter if you're around for the execute phase. Now that we cross that minute mark, it is still anyone's game in this 4v4.
Uh-oh. It says they have 3 drones left, but 2 of them may have died with Giddy. There is only 1 drone for Elyssar to actively use in the pocket of young Alec. With 45 seconds remaining, they're going to need as much info on the site as they can get. Kento already pushed up behind the locker. There is a Goyo pack right in front of him that Twist could pop and delay at any point in time. The Iana clone will come in, but it won't be able to do a lot. Shot almost instantaneously by Valor the minute it stepped foot into sight, and there's that Goyo finally being let through. Nade comes out from Kento, but it's ADS very quickly as there is no clear. Second one goes through, but it goes through, I think, either the drone hole or the hole in the wall, so Twist is still up. He'll fall to the gun. Bio goes 1-for-1, and now it's a 3 versus 2. Vivid gets caught in a crossfire. Inrio starting to get low HP, tagged away by the goo mine, certainly slowed. Kento blindsided by Valor, and there's no time for the Iana to clutch. West Garfield take round number 8.
And they break the pattern that we was worried that might have been emerging here. They do not allow Oregon to start out, for Elyssar at least, attacker sided. They will bounce right back and take the basement site successfully. So good on them. Really starting off that round strong and confidently with a pretty strong roam, right? A pretty good fallback as well. They did lose a body, and that's not great, but they were able to get 1 kill back, playing just aggressively enough to make sure to neutralize the advantage that Elyssar had secured before eventually backing off as they took those drones with them. In the end, when the execute came around, there was not a single drone remaining in the pocket of Elyssar to actually drone the site. There were 2 drones probably somewhere on the map that just could not be moved. And that clearly got Elyssar into a bit of a pickle, even though they may have initially assumed where a couple of those defensive positions were going to be. Without any active drones on the site, they could not predict the rotation over by that laundry side of things, over by the laundry machine itself and the back of supply closet, allowing pretty free rotation and a couple of nice kills for West Garfield, allowing the case to get dropped, forcing Elyssar to rotate and recover that, something that they simply could not afford to do. West Garfield, they will make sure to win another round and maintain their 2-round lead.
Not letting things slip out of their control, at least not yet. We move on to the opposite bomb site of dorms, one that we've seen like half as much as Laundry. I think this is only our 11th or 12th play, so it's still, slightly more fresh than the other. Elyssar will be clear in down below. They have plenty of nades, 4 to be exact, and they want to make use of it from down below. Bulletproof Cam watching Z will be dealt with by young Alec, who is now on Finca. Kento swapping to Sledge. Interesting decision, considering that is usually Giddy's role. I very, very rarely ever see Giddy swap off of the Sledge. Maybe to play something like a Ying, but nothing else. So, seeing Giddy on the Zofia, definitely different. But here's Valor, attempting to challenge the master doorway, perhaps?
Just holding out in the closet for now. He's got a rotation to work with, and Elyssar, they no doubt have realized this. Gotta decide, though, how they want to conquer this position. Not something you see very often when attacking this site. At the same time, Elyssar is going to have to deal with these players down below. Finally, I guess that position from Valor will now be locked off, and he will back off with low HP, but he'll survive. And as he backs off, that takes away another position that Elyssar need to stress about. They still got to worry about Snake. They still got to worry about Twist. Both still sitting down below, hoping to be a threat in the late round, especially Twist, who's probably looking to get aggressive here and make a move, but instead it is Kento who steps up, is able to pick up that kill onto Bio. There goes your smoke. That's a big problem for this defense.
Snake playing, I guess, too passively on Freezer will allow Kento up, and Kento gets 2 more? And just like that, boom, site players done and dusted. It's down to Snake and Twist, the players you had mentioned before that ER need to worry about, left
AFK?
to clutch a 2 versus 5, and with no anti-plant to do it. The plant will go down. That should be an easy kill for Giddy as he just watches the Aruni vault a shield, and maybe gets the second as well. There it is, pre-fires away on a Snake. It is flawless for Elyssar. All 5 kills going the way of Kento and Giddy. Special shout out to Kento for really making a move, seeing that Elyssar were maybe stalling out of it, didn't get the nade kills they wanted from below, and just made the decision to walk up white.
Big shout out to Kento there, but also even bigger shout out to Twist and Snake for doing absolutely nothing at all to help their team. I mean, what the heck was that? Twist in kitchen, in all seriousness, was just chilling. I mean, you had Snake down below in Freezer, who didn't make a move until Elyssar had secured site control. Could have been communication issue. Could have been a lack of understanding of where Elyssar were positioned. Could have been lack of intel. We're seeing the Echo now come out from Bio, maybe to counter that exact problem. But you think about how that round was unfolding, and you got to wonder what the plan, what Twist and Snake were thinking, what exactly their plan was playing down below. Usually, we will have somebody down below. It's not uncommon. Most often, that player will have a C4. Neither Twist nor Snake had that utility. If they don't have a C4, then they'll play it actively. They will prevent a White Hall push. They'll play on that security door. They will challenge those attackers as they come in from the Showers Hall, and they will prevent, with their life, the run-up White Stairs by the attack. That didn't happen either. Just breaking down how perplexed I was about that defensive hold. West Garfield, they still hold the lead. And Snake, I think learning from that last round is going to decide to say, you know what, if I'm playing below, I've got to play a little bit more aggressive.
See how active they can get. We'll see if they can match Kento's utter tenacity. Twist will get the leadoff kill. This time, he won't be doing nothing from down below. Even Alec has to give him kudos for whatever shot he just hit, because it is sure to have been a nasty one. Now you have lost your finger. But you do trade back. Kento, though, gets caught with nade in hand. Not expecting Snake to swing out fast for the refrag. Barring the next to fall, though, keeping the man count even at 3 apiece.
Yeah, not exactly sure where Barring was killed. Over on the armory side, it looks like. Yep, there's the remnants of the Jaeger and his 416. As Giddy took him down, swinging his way in armory for good now and seizing that control. But in this 3v3, it is still anyone's game. This time, West Garfield in this 3v3 are smartly playing all on the site. Snake in a position on the White Stairs, and we could see him dip down below to take care of Inrio, as he's done several times this round already. But Bio's job is just going to be intel. He's got this yokai drone. He will actually assist Snake on this position by putting that at the top of the White Stairs. At the same time, Valor still alive and still with this C4. This is exactly the play that Elyssar, well, need to prevent. Snake gets thrown across the room. A well-placed air jab as Inrio gets that kill. But an unbelievable turn of events as Snake thought he had a freebie, but ends up getting freebied himself. 3v2, Elyssar with the edge.
Biologic and Valor, though, any of the 2 operators on the defense that you want last alive, it's going to be them. C4 in pocket for Valor, Bio with the Yokais, if they still remain. Not quite sure if they've been destroyed by Elyssar, but considering there's no IQ and they haven't done much to the site, it is doubtful. Biologic does take some damage from down below. The C4 is early from Valor. It does not find the kill on White. Breach is still open, and Valor will pay the price. Inrio cuts him down, leaving Biologic alone in a 1 versus 3. Fighting against the Nomad, he'll miss his shots and can't even finish Giddy. The LMG will outduel the MP5. SD and Elyssar will tie up the score, 5-5.
We are all tied up at 5, and Elyssar proving that this may indeed be an attacker-sided Oregon. They've already taken 3 rounds. West Garfield only 1 on the defense. So at the very least, Elyssar have done their job and gotten all 3. They'll be looking to finish things out here. They're the ones with the momentum now, and they'll be looking to put things away. But that last round, I mean, another example of just both teams playing well and playing those trades, but Elyssar, when it came down to the execute, much like their previous round number 9, much like 2 rounds before that in round number 7, all of those attacks just really coordinated. Even in tough situations, even when they're down 2 bodies, they're able to group up as a core roster and they're able to play together, and that is what will differentiate a good attack from a bad one at this stage in the game. With the stakes this high, as we're approaching another potential overtime, that is exactly what you need to do. The C4 that we saw thrown towards White Stairs was a valiant effort to deny the run up the stairs, but it was a little bit too early, 1, and 2, if that yokai drone was still there, it certainly wouldn't have been after that C4 blew it up. So, gotta juggle. Do you search for that kill? Do you prioritize the information? Hard in a situation like that when you're in the 2v3. So now, since we're all tied up at 5 and the TAC timeout has been completed, we look towards round 11 to see which of these teams can break the rhythm and branch out into the lead again, claiming match point.
Their 22nd laundry defense now upon us. It's older than me.
5 seconds left.
Been surpassed. Valor will bring out Mira, something that we have not seen yet this game. Again, two matches in a row where it's taken quite a while to see Mira brought out, but finally get her. Valor placing 1 in box where you normally see it. Where will the second one? Judging by the rotate being made on the opposite side as usual, perhaps into elbow. Wow, Snake is screwed. Yeah, okay. Dude, our observer panned over and Snake was just in the craps, I guess, to make it PG. There was no getting out of that one. And now Twist finds himself kind of thinking to himself, well, my co-roamer just got smoked. He does have another. Barring is still there. They are a little bit more exposed now that Snake decided that he wanted to get a little over-eager.
Well, Elyssar with that advantage, it's likely them who are going to get eager at this point. I wouldn't say over-eager either. They would deserve it. They're building this confidence. They have won 2 rounds in a row. They have taken this advantage that West Garfield held so firmly, and they have snatched it away. Man, would they love to get themselves on match point before West Garfield have a chance at fighting for that. Giddy, what are you doing?
You know? Just checking T3.
He's clearing it out very methodically with that Twitch drone.
Gotta make sure.
Impressive. Yeah, he took the time to do it at the point in the mid-round. Well done from him, making sure there can be nobody ratting in the corner, because as they've had so much success recently, I suppose a reasonable thought for Elyssar is, you know what? West Garfield may be trying to rat on us even more. They may be trying to get more dastardly in terms of those plays. As our analyst has highlighted before this match started, all those million years ago, it feels like, it was indeed a theme. A theme for West Garfield. Can they rat on you? Can they hide in these corners? It looks like Elyssar are not going to allow that to happen. We crossed that minute mark now, under 50 seconds, and Elyssar, well, they're going to set their sights to the objective. Here comes Kento down the tower stairs.
I do like how Elyssar are really doing their due diligence, not leaving any corner unchecked, ensuring that nothing mischievous is to happen from West Garfield. Nades are coming out from Kento, but they only succeed in breaking the floor and perhaps some utility caught in the blast radius. Another nade goes out, but it will be ADS, so Biologic safe now inside of Harry Potter. Smokes coming out from the defense. They'll blind Barring and force the Jaeger back, and that entire elbow wall is soft. All the reinforcements are used. Bio gets one, but there's two for the attack. Kento will climb another, Barring with two, but can't save the round as young Alec hits the back and comes through the rotate, giving Elyssar round 11 and match point.
Unbelievable. We've got back-to-back attacker-sided Oregons here. Harrison, this is ridiculous.
Incredible.
What a day this has been. I mean, not only have we seen 3 Oregons and like 25 basement defenses, we have seen, what, 3 overtime games now? 2, 3? 3.
Yes, 3.
3
All of them
overtime
8-6.
games, all 8-6. We have seen 2 attacker-sided Oregons. I mean, this is a day for the record books. It really is. And if West Garfield can take this last round, I mean, obviously it's been a long day, right? But I think it would just be hilarious if West Garfield took this last round. I hate to put it out there. I hate to say it, but it would be funny
I guess.
as heck. I mean, they would go to OT. We could see another 8-6 on Oregon. It really would be a day for the ages. But Elyssar, right? They're gonna have to approach a different site. West Garfield, they are done with the same thing over and over again. They are not going to keep on digging themselves into this hole. They said, you know what? It's time to pull out all the stops. Let's go to a bomb site that we haven't shown. Go to a bomb site that we hope can put us over the top. It's going to be meeting in kitchen for them. Tertiary site. The first time we're going to see it from them, and maybe their chance to get this one to OT.
5 seconds to insertion.
To call back to your point earlier, not only has it been a strange day for Oregon with both of the recent ones being attacker-sided, but our first one wasn't even defender-sided. It was dead even.
Yeah.
We've had no defender-sided Oregons today. And wouldn't it be just like CL to have Border and Skyscraper in the same day as 3 Oregon?
Right, because we haven't had Border and Skyscraper very much. It's like a huge deal when we get them, but it's also hugely frustrating when we have 800 Oregons.
It could have been a great day, and then the teams
Could've
just said no. So, Elyssar, 1 point away from winning. They have to attack the offside. West Garfield, once again, bringing a bulletproof cam supplemented by 2 yokai. So they have plenty of plant denial, and they're going to need it, as stage plants are relatively simple for the attack to start to get down, but there are plenty of players upstairs for West Garfield, and Elyssar are clearing mainly from the small tower side of things. If their play is to go to kitchen for this plant attempt, and they are certainly going to have to clear upstairs. Valor gets aggressive and, well, gives Kento his 17th kill for free.
I gotta know if he killed his own Echo Drone with that. That would add to the comedy of errors that Valor just made when he decided to make that play. And, you know, now Snake's in a tough spot. Bio's been finished off, and all this talk about overtime, Elyssar are not having it. They want to put this one away in regulation. Snake has been torn apart. Bio and Valor are already gone. Snake is forced to fall back and hold this long angle, but with that so low HP, oh, that is a dangerous prospect. You've got Barring, who's sitting down below. Right now, the only player actually on the site. The other 2 defenders are still up above, and if Elyssar realize this, well, they could just pinch out these players and take the win for their own. But right now, it's top floor. That's the focus. Through the smokes, Kento will send it in, pick up the kill onto Snake. Goodbye, Barring, and goodbye, Twist. Elyssar closing things out in round number 12, and our 3rd iteration of Oregon will not be going to overtime. The second 7-5 of the day, won by Elyssar, who make an incredibly dramatic attacking comeback. A 4-2 half for West Garfield, countered immediately by a 5-1 half from the other side. Well played by Elyssar. They will put themselves in a good place on the overall leaderboard. That's a 4th place finish for them, I believe.
It is indeed. That was the game for 4th. West Garfield will finish in 5th. And I think we switched away to the end screen too soon, but chat was certainly entertaining at the end of that game. I know young Alec immediately dropped the "I'm twerking for Kento" in all caps, and both he and Kento screaming at Twist. Kento saying, "Yeah, Twist, am I still mid?" Clearly not, because if you guys were not paying attention, Kento just went 20-9. Not only was it a 20 bomb, but he had just over a 2.0 KD. And if that isn't dominance, if that isn't Oregon Kento to a T, I don't know what is.
Well, what a day it's been. What a stage it's been. Harrison,
Yeah.
it's been amazing. The cast with you as always for this entire stage, for this marathon of a day. So for the final time, at least until our relegation match coming up in about a month's time, we are going to say a goodbye to you all and pass things back to our lovely host, our lovely analyst, to take it away for the rest of the day. We'll say so long, everybody, and, well, Brimstone, it's all yours.
Good news for Jonah. I believe that relegation match is actually only about 2 weeks away. Correct me if I'm wrong, Connor.
Yeah, it's coming a lot sooner than we thought. There's going to be a significant break after the relegation game. You know, let that new team or potentially reworked Outlast team get a little bit of scrimming going on, so they're not thrown right back into the fire that we know as Challenger League. But that's in the future. And what we've got right now is a wonderful Elyssar victory that didn't look like it was going to happen. All of a sudden, their attacks look insanely clean. We got back-to-back attacker-sided Oregons because teams were getting a little bit undisciplined on defenses.
Cookies. We're literally watching this going, man, West Garfield Park, they look good on attack. And Elyssar was like, that was nothing. I guess maybe not Elyssar Cookies, more so Kento.
I mean, Kenta put his cheeks into this one. There's no other way to put it.
Yeah.
He's kind of been doing that all stage. But West Garfield's philosophy, but that was ridiculous. Okay, you don't see
5-1 entry Kento.
Yeah, his plus 12 wasn't good enough on the stage so far.
West Garfield literally, last round sums it up. I watched an Echo throw an impact to fly out of the kitchen door. Yeah, it's funny. The casters were talking about this is a plant denial defense and all that. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. Valor just picked Echo for impact so he could run it, people and die. You know what? That's kind of all West Garfield did, because it was very reckless. They were trying to throw Elyssar off, but they didn't. TLDR. Cue the interview, please.
Okay, thank you. Enrio, we've got Enrio for the interview. Enrio, big win for you guys, securing fourth. You know, I know every team sets out to play to get to first every stage, but how does it feel at least securing getting in the top 4 for this stage?
It feels good. It's better than finish anything lower, but like you said, it's not the feeling of first place or even second place really, but we definitely expect better from ourselves, but finishing fourth is still good regardless.
Now, all of you had a good game this game, but it was kind of, I'll be honest, a bit overshadowed by just how crazy Kento was in this match. Does this guy even have a higher gear than that? He seems he just pops off some games.
No, Kento's the best. I love the guy. I just drone for him and I just see people bodies drop one by one. It's the best feeling ever. He just randomly ends up in sight half of the time. When you just walks away, he gets like a 2-3K and he's in sight and he's in sight, react, and we just play the round off that. Kento's actually the best. I love that guy.
Yeah, he's just one of those people that makes it look easy what he does. And then final question, this is what I've been asking every team so far, kind of similar to the first question, but I've been asking every team what they feel that their grade or the report card they would give themselves on their stage and what they want to see moving forward in the season.
The grade I give us is a D. With all this talent that we have on this roster, for sure we should be playing like at a pro league level, in my opinion. We have all this talent for what if we're just gonna play play mid compared to other teams. I think we should have finished first, but we had some troubles along the way, obviously, with our wins and losses, us getting shut out by Aerial 7-2, which that was we actually didn't stand a chance there. I definitely do think right now they're the best team, even though they didn't finish first. I still do think they're the best team in CL right now. I could give them props to that, but like you said, definitely expected better from us, but we could just take from what we learned from this stage and keep moving forward.
Well, I'm excited to hear that. Congratulations, Enrio. Top 4 is still mighty impressive, and we'll see you next stage, dude.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it.
Have a good one.
You too.
I love that raw answer, man. Like, this team, they started well. Yeah, there, Connor, I forgot to ask you each time. He agrees with the report.
They played mid compared to what they should have. That should have been a team that won the whole thing. And they're going to come back even stronger as we have a look at our standings. We've got